Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zachary. Alright, today we're gonna be doing something a little bit different. I was getting bored of doing the same thing literally every single day, and I'm sure a lot of you guys were tired of seeing me do the same thing every single day. So today we're gonna be doing something a bit different. Today I'm gonna be going over all 30 teams in the NBA and giving at least one good thing about them that I have noticed this season. Now, shout out to King of the Fourth Quarter, aka Kenny. He has done something similar to this in the past, so shout out to him for kind of the inspiration for the idea. And also I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video as well, SeatGeek. Guys, each team now only has like 4 or 5 games left to play this NBA season, and if your team is one of the teams that isn't going to be making the playoffs, then most likely you'll be able to find tickets for dirt cheap around this time of year. So why not go to one game before the season ends using SeatGeek? As the app is great, you get a live view of the seats before you buy them, and you also get an additional $20 off your first order when you use the promo code SDC at checkout. Like I said, if you guys want to use the app, I'll have the links down in the description box below. But now with that out the way though, let's get into this video, and this list is going to be in alphabetical order, so that means that we're starting off with the Atlanta Hawks. And of course, the best thing I've noticed about the Atlanta Hawks so far this year has been Trae Young. He has been as good as advertised, looks just as good now as he did back when that Trae Young mania was going on in college. On the season, he's averaging 19 points, 8 assists, and about 3.5 rebounds per game. So he's extremely good, and it's proven that the Atlanta Hawks weren't crazy for doing what they did in the draft to get him. Next up, we got the Boston Celtics, and this one was a little more challenging because the Boston Celtics have been having such an up and down year. But I guess the best thing I can say about the Boston Celtics is they're healthy. They're healthy heading into the playoffs, and I think as a Boston Celtics fan, seeing as to how ridiculous of a year this was for you guys, this is the best thing you could hope for. The Brooklyn Nets. What is not to be happy about the Brooklyn Nets? D'Angelo Russell made his first All-Star appearance this year, his first of what will be many to come, averaging 21 points per game as well as 7 assists. And not only that, but you got a player like Joe Harris, someone who won the three-point contest during the All-Star break and has still been shooting lights out from beyond the arc, averaging around 14 points per game while shooting 47% from 3 on the season. And over the past 10 games, the man has been hitting 54% of his 3-point shots. The Charlotte Hornets, this one was challenging for a whole nother reason, because we all know there's a very real possibility that the Hornets are going to lose Kemba Walker this offseason and they're not going to be making the playoffs, and there really wasn't many bright spots just for Charlotte. I guess the one being Mikal Bridges. He's looked pretty good. They haven't really been focusing on developing their young talent, but he shows promise. The Chicago Bulls, while it might not have been a good season for them winning-wise, I don't think Bulls fans are too upset with where they are as a team at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. And that's because they already have a lot of young talent, even though that young talent hasn't been able to stay healthy whatsoever. With Zach LaVine showing that he can go out there and still get buckets, Chris Dunn still showing signs of improvement, and Lauri Markkanen, when he played, was once again dominant. I'd say it's been a pretty decent year to be a Bulls fan, as long as you weren't expecting to win any game. The Cleveland Cavaliers. A lot of people didn't think Colin Sexton would amount to much. I know a lot of scouts were saying that the Cavaliers made a mistake by drafting him. He can't shoot, yada yada yada. Colin Sexton has been proving all of that wrong and has been only getting better as the season progressed. Guys, on the year now, since he's been shooting the ball at such a high clip for the past couple of months, Colin Sexton is shooting over 40% from 3 as a rookie. And this was a guy who, coming into the league, was getting knocked for his inability to shoot the ball. He's shooting over 40% from 3 while averaging 16 points per game on the year. He is an extreme bright spot for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Dallas Mavericks. Clearly, it's Luka Doncic. I mean, they got a generational talent here. How could there be anyone as a Dallas Mavericks fan that would be upset with where they are? Not to mention, they traded for Kristaps Porzingis. Denver Nuggets. After the last 2 years where they missed the playoffs by literally a game, they're now the 2nd seed in the Western Conference, with still the possibility of ending up with the 1st seed, even though I think deep down we all know that's going to be the Golden State Warriors. But from missing the playoffs barely for the past 2 seasons to now being solidified as a 2nd seed in the Western Conference, there's a lot to be happy about if you're a Denver Nuggets fan. The Detroit Pistons. Well, after years and years and years of not having that star player, Blake Griffin has been having, in my mind, the best season of his career. The man has been dominating, and it's kind of overshadowed some other great players that the Pistons have had, such as Andre Drummond. He's only been getting better as the season progresses. He can go out there and get a 20-20 game in his sleep. Golden State Warriors. You're gonna win a championship this year? I don't know. What else do you want? The Houston Rockets. Of course, for them, it's James Harden. He's probably going to be the back-to-back MVP this year. I know there's a debate between him and Giannis, but it's really looking like it's going to be James Harden still, and yeah, it's pretty good. The Indiana Pacers, and this season has been rough to be a Pacers fan, just knowing that it could have been so much better had Victor Oladipo not gotten hurt. But on the bright side here, you're still tied with the Boston Celtics for the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference. Domantas Sabonis has been playing great. You know, you're still a really good team even without Oladipo, but yeah. The Los Angeles Clippers, and the best thing about their season has been Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Yes, I pronounced his name right. I'm not saying Gilgeous, it's Gilgeous, all right? You got it. But this kid is special. He's not the flashiest player. He has a good knack for the ball, and he seems to be doing whatever it takes to get his team to win at the same time while posting some respectable stats for his rookie season. The Los Angeles Lakers, even though this season didn't go anywhere near how they would have liked it to go, there was still one major bright spot in my eyes, and that was the progression of Brandon Ingram as the season went along. He started off the season extremely shaky, not playing so well, of course ending up in a lot of trade rumors, but after the trade deadline, before he got injured that is, he was killing it. The man was absolutely balling out. He himself even saying that he was playing the best basketball of his career right before he got injured. The Memphis Grizzlies, they're one of the teams in the NBA that not that many people care about unless of course you live in the Memphis area, I'm assuming, but they do have one heck of a young player in Jaren Jackson Jr. He was killing it before he got hurt, and now you have Bruno Caboclo. He had a couple of good games here and there, so he's showing promise. So the Grizzlies, they're still the Grizzlies, but there's hope. Next up, we got the Miami Heat, and the best thing about the Heat has definitely been Dwayne Wade playing his last season in the league. It's going to be sad to see him go, but at least he came back to Miami so he could end his career the right way. Other than that, Josh Richardson had a really good career, and the Miami Heat still look like they're going to make the playoffs in the Eastern Conference. The Milwaukee Bucks. If you're a Bucks fan and you've had any problem with how your season has been going, click off this video because I do not want to hear. You guys have been having a terrific season, seemingly coming out of nowhere to have the best record in the Eastern Conference. Giannis has been right up there in the conversation with James Harden for MVP. Eric Bledsoe's been playing well. Brook Lopez has been playing well. Chris Middleton in his first All-Star game this year. There is literally nothing to be upset about if you are a Milwaukee Bucks fan. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Tom Thibodeau's gone, I guess. Like, that's... You still got Andrew Wiggins, but Tibbs is gone. The New Orleans Pelicans. Julius Randle's been having a really good year. Ignore the fact that you're about to have to trade away Anthony Davis, but Julius Randle's still been having a really good year. The New York Knicks, still making the headlines for all of the wrong reasons it seems because of their owner, but even though they had to trade away Kristaps Porzingis this year, they have a lot of young talent, and that young talent has been showing promise. Of course, with Mitchell Robinson, Kevin Knox, Dennis Smith Jr., and even Emmanuel Mudiay is looking like he might turn out to be something. The OKC Thunder, Paul George having an MVP caliber year. He's not going to win it because the Thunder don't have a good enough record, but he's still up there in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. The Orlando Magic, they're actually in playoff contention. That's great. The Philadelphia 76ers, they're kind of in the same boat as the Milwaukee Bucks. Like, I don't think Sixers fans have anything to complain about. They have the most stacked starting five in the Eastern Conference after they traded for Jimmy Butler and Tobias Harris. Like, I don't see what there would be to complain about if you're a Sixers fan, other than the fact that a lot of people tend to hate the Philadelphia 76ers already. The Phoenix Suns, DeAndre Ayton has been as good as advertised. He just needs the ball in his hands a bit more, and then when they also traded for Kelly Oubre Jr., he was balling out for them until he got injured. The Portland Trailblazers, they just suffered a terrible injury to Yusuf Nurkic, but there have been some bright spots for the Portland Trailblazers this season. It's been pretty much like every other season. I think we all know what we can expect from the Portland Trailblazers, but Rodney Hood and Seth Curry have both been having terrific seasons ever since they started playing for the Portland Trailblazers. The Sacramento Kings, they're in the same boat as a team like the Dallas Mavericks. I don't think Sacramento Kings fans could really have anything to complain about since this is the most competitive team that they've had in over a decade, and is still a really young team with players like the Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, and Buddy Hield, so they're going to get better. I think this was probably their last year missing the playoffs for a while, so if you're a Kings fan, this has been a terrific season. The San Antonio Spurs. No one's really talked about them this year, but it's because they're the San Antonio Spurs. They do what they've always done, and the best thing about them is that their playoff streak is going to remain alive. The Toronto Raptors. First off, Kawhi Leonard, there's still question as to whether or not he's going to stay or go. He could go either way, but he's been working out for the Toronto Raptors, and not only that, they've had another player come out of nowhere and is about to enter stardom very soon, which is Pascal Siakam. He has had a breakout season for the Raptors, and because of that, I don't think the organization is doomed no matter what Kawhi Leonard does this summer. The Utah Jazz. They haven't done anything this year really that's different from what they did last year, which I guess is good in and of itself, because sometimes, like last year when the Utah Jazz had a breakout season, they could just exceed expectations and be a better team than they were supposed to be because of it. They're overall just a really good team. They still need some extra help for Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert though. Lastly, the Washington Wizards. I'm not gonna lie when I tell you I couldn't find anything for the Washington Wizards. Like, this has been a terrible season for Wizards and their fans. Like, a god-awful season. Like, there's almost nothing to be happy about this season if you're a Washington Wizards fan, and for that, I feel sorry for you. But that's it for this video though. Hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot more fun doing this video as opposed to doing the same thing that I've been doing for the past 3 years. I mean, like, this video was actually a lot of fun to make, so if you want to see more videos like this where I do other stuff like this, still NBA related, but maybe not, you know, the videos I have been making for so long, then definitely make sure to destroy that like button, because that's the way I'll know that if you guys want more stuff like this. That being said though, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about your favorite team. What's been the best thing about your favorite team down in the comment section below. You guys already know that you are the real MVPs though, but with that being said, until next time, keep getting the buckets, Team STC, and I'm out of here.